Your life partner has a major impact on you. It can either make you or break you.
Welcome, I'm your host, and you're listening to Elevate with Noe, your new favorite and go-to podcast. It's about time you tuned in. Come on this journey with me, and let's get it.
Hi, ladies. Welcome back. How you doing, girl? And if you're new, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for to join the community? Girl, smash the subscribe button, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, or follow the podcast if it's either on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon Prime. Just do it. Seriously, I'm really grateful for each one of you who tune in. If you're tuning in every single time there's an episode that is out, I salute you. I wish you a lot of blessing in your life. And even if you haven't been consistent with listening to each and every episode, I still appreciate you very much. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I want to start sharing with you the 3 biggest decisions that you will ever have to make in your life. And these are decisions that can either make you or break you. And before I start sharing with you each one of them, I want you to know, just having a little bit of context here, that this is from a content creator that inspired me since I was 18 or 19 years old to start on my leveling up journey. I was very new to it. I'm gonna share her page for you to check it out because trust me, it's definitely worth it. I really like this woman. And basically, what you share on that post is what I'm about to share with you today. And I'm just gonna elaborate a little bit on each of them because this was just a post, a statement. So the first decision, and stick till the end because the last one is the most important one. If anything, one of the most important one. Your career is a big component of your fulfillment and happiness. If you watched my previous episode, talked about the Maslow pyramid. If you haven't, I can't remember which episode I talked about it, but if you haven't, I will put a picture if you're watching on YouTube. This is so important. I think that this pyramid represents the fundamental needs of a human being to be very fulfilled and be happy in his life. And when you look at the pyramid, it really starts with the basic needs. You having food, you having a roof over your head, clothing. These are the basics, okay? But as you go up the pyramid, you see that you also need to have social gathering, you need recognition, self-esteem, self-confidence, things like that. And all these things are often going to happen through the work that you do, through your career. Because when you think about it, isn't that all we're mostly striving for? This is what we work for most of the time, since elementary school till now, all the time that we spend on studying, the money invested in it, in our education. This is all we've been doing, striving to make a living, right? But when I'm talking about career, it's not just tied up to a job title. I'm talking about anything that you do for a living. You have to understand that most of your time is not even spent on you hanging out with your friends or your family. It's mostly towards your career. So you don't want to end your life being super miserable simply because you didn't take the time to think about what you want your career to look like. Because it's gonna be very painful, very hard for you to keep up your life if you're having a career that you dislike, that you hate, that you feel like is draining you, instead of something that makes you happy, that you're passionate about. And if you don't start thinking about it now, you will regret it later, or you're gonna have to switch career in your 30s, your 40s, or later on. Because it happened. I've met a lot of people who end up switching their career because they didn't like it, or they didn't take the time to actually think about everything that they like. Instead of thinking of only, okay, I'm gonna do this when I'm older, think about what you like. I like to speak to people. I also like to dance. I also like to draw. So how can I make my career in a way that it can incorporate all those things? I'm not saying that you need to do all of them at once, but how can you create your career so that it can incorporate all these things that you already have a talent for or that you're passionate about? Because you cannot spend your whole life, I mean, you can, that's your decision. But do you want to end up being 70 years old, 80 years old, and look back at your life and be like, why did I not do this? Why did I not do that? I don't want these words to come out of your mouth. I don't want you to have regrets, okay? So yes, your career are very much important. Even if you don't want to work, if you want to become a housewife, guess what, girl? You're still gonna have to have something going on for yourself. Whether it's to host parties, host social gathering, or do your makeup every day, try new hairstyle. What do you like to do? Or cooking, like whatever this is that you're passionate about, that lights you up, that brings you joy, that makes you feel alive. This is what I want you to focus on to build your career. Because trust me, if you don't do it, you're gonna end up miserable and start living your life on an airplane mode. You have to be proactive about this. No one else can do it for you but you. So this is why it's so important, because if you dislike your career or the type of career that you have built for yourself, it's gonna take a toll on your life. It's gonna take a toll on your mood. You're always gonna feel angry or always in a bad mood. And this is gonna impact the relationships that you have around you. You're gonna hold a grudge, but the person you can only be mad at is yourself. That anger toward yourself, and this is just gonna keep bottling up inside of you, and then you're gonna become bitter. So this is gonna keep going. All that negative emotions start bottling up. It's going to impact other aspects of your life as well. So that's number one. Number two, it's the life partner that you choose. Your life partner has a major impact on you. It can either make you or break you. It's so important, because when you leave your parents' house, you're on your own and you end up living with someone else, that person is going to influence you and impact your mood a lot. So if you're someone who's very ambitious and you're with someone who's very lazy, who has nothing going on, it's going to impact you as well. You're going to start brushing off your goals. You're going to be less disciplined to do them, simply because the person that you're spending a lot of time with, which is your life partner, has an influence on you. It does. When you're around people, they influence you and you influence them as well. But sometimes it can be so heavy that you can end up giving up on all your goals and lose yourself simply because of the person that you have chosen to make your life with. And it's not something to take lightly at all. A lot of people make that mistake simply because they felt pressured by society, they felt pressured by their peers, their friends, their parents. Hey, do I have to remind you that the only person who's gonna be living with that partner is you? No one else is. No one else is going to live with that person but you. No one else gonna have these negative impact if the person is toxic to you but you. So don't take it lightly. You really have to make sure that it's someone that is aligned with the person that you are, or either the person you are becoming. Because I'm telling you, it can make you very miserable and you can lose one of your most precious asset, which is your time. And I cannot tell you how many people that I see on a daily basis that I look at them and I look at their partner and I'm just like, what are you doing with this person? No wonder you start changing. No wonder you're no longer doing the thing that you said that you were gonna do. Now you're not doing this or spending time with your friends. Look at the life partner they're with. End up losing a friend just because of their life partner. Your lover can make you change in a way. What you need to remember is that they can have a huge impact on your whole being. So please do not take it lightly. Just make sure that it's a partner that you genuinely like. You like them for who they are, and someone who is aligned with the person that you are and or who you're becoming. Because if you don't, it's gonna end up clashing at some point. And instead of focusing on your growth, all your time, energy is gonna be sucked out of you and only poured into making the relationship work. And then how are you gonna have any more time and energy for yourself? It's gonna be harder because they choose the wrong partner. It impacted either their image, their career, their reputation. The one example that I have, and that I'm gonna talk about it in another video, it's only gonna be posted on my YouTube channel, not on my podcast, is Holly Bailey and her baby daddy. This is a pure example. If you don't know who Holly Bailey is, Google it. She's literally the lady who played Ariel in the live action movie. That's her. And she's super talented and she has big opportunities, a big career ahead of her. And she's doing amazing. She's doing great. And here you have her baby daddy who's now creating a bunch of chaos around her name. Before, when you would type in her name on Google, or if you would see her name appear, was for either a new single that was dropping or a new movie that was coming up with her. But now her name is tied up with her baby dad and all this unnecessary drama that comes with it. So this is just one example out of so many. It can either make you or break you. Okay, so this was just a little story just to give you an example. And this is tied up to celebrity, but even if you're not a celebrity, you have to take it very seriously. If you want to have a peaceful life, you got to make sure that the partner you're choosing is going to amplify that, not bring you chaos, okay? If you want to live a life full of beautiful memories, traveling a lot, don't be with a homebody. Don't be with someone who never goes out. You get what I mean? Go with someone who enjoys traveling. You have to make sure that everything aligns. So now, number 3. This has to be something that I feel people in probably my generation and generation before me are taking very lightly, is who they're having kids with. Now, it's like people don't care much about relationship. They're just dating people here and there, having babies with them, and then they break things off. No, okay? This is something that you should be very careful who you're having kids with. This is a whole lineage that you're creating. You're procreating with someone that you don't even like, that you're not even in a relationship with. You don't even like the person you had kids with, but you decide to have kids with that person. I'm trying to understand the logic, but there's not. I'm trying to understand what happened the moment that you decided to have a baby with the person who is not even worth being in a relationship with, but is worth it enough for you to give them a baby. You have to understand that if you have a kid with a person that you're not in a committed relationship with, or you don't even like, that person is gonna stay in your life forever, for as long as the kid is alive. For as long as the kid is part of your life or is still alive, that person is always gonna be tied up to you. You know what I mean? That means that even if you break things off, that person's never fully gonna be out of your life, even if you would like to. And having kids don't keep them in, okay? Just a reminder for some of you, because I know sometimes we think that giving XYZ to a man is gonna make him stay. Honey, it doesn't, okay? It just doesn't. And you having kids is even worse, because it's like carrying a weight that will never go away until you die or until your kid is out of the picture. It's the truth. It's really the truth. Even if you're out of the relationship, you're no longer dating the person who got you pregnant, that person's still gonna be in your life for as long as you guys have a kid together. And I can't even imagine if you have multiple. It's different parenting styles. Basically, it's like you're going to overload yourself with unnecessary work that could have been avoided in the first place. I understand that some women, it was an accident, things like that. Yeah, but if you're not someone who is a baby mom, but who fools around a little bit with guys who have been a bit careless here and there, I advise you to be very, very careful, okay? Or you're in a relationship with a guy, you guys are not married, but he wants you to be pregnant or he wants you to have his kids, be very careful, okay? Be very careful because you're the one who's gonna have to live with that most of the time, if not all of the time. Okay? And your body is not to be played with. Your body is your peace, is your sanctuary, is all of you. People should work for that, to have access to your body. Okay? So when you're giving life to another human being with someone that you're not even aligned with someone who doesn't respect you like that, with someone who doesn't even see you worth of being his wife, or doesn't see you worth it to be in a committed relationship with, is very telling. It's very telling. And when you have a kid now, it's still possible for you to find real love. It really is. I've seen women having it, but it's just, you have now something that comes with you. You know, now whenever you're gonna be meeting with other men, these men's gonna have to consider your kid as well, not just you. So basically, you're adding more challenges in your life that nobody else brought on you but yourself, basically. So this is very important. And kids are here to stay. It's not something that you can undo. You cannot make your kid disappear when the kid is out, unless you give it to adoption, which most women don't do. There's some women who does, but many, they decide to keep the kid, and that's their decision. But when you keep it, you have to deal with it for the rest of your life, for the rest of it. You don't want to bring a kid that doesn't have a father, who doesn't have a solid household, who doesn't have stability. It's not just about you, it's also what the kid's gonna grow up watching, what the kid's gonna be used to. So this is why it's important. And you have to understand, this is your blood that's being carrying on in the next generation, in the following generation. It's never gonna go away. It's your genes that are being shared with another human being that you don't like, that was not even worth messing around with in the first place. You have to treat yourself like royalty. You have to be very careful. Not everyone deserves to have a baby with you. And also think about, if you had to bring a kid outside of the wedlock, or just because it was an accident, because you were messing around with someone that didn't even end up working out, how are you going to do this with the kid now? What are you going to explain to the kid? Can you imagine that? I don't want you to even imagine it. I just want you to be careful. Kids are something that you cannot undo. When it's out there, it's out. For as long as the kid is alive, that's always going to be your responsibility. And you're not going to be able to get rid of the partner who got you pregnant unless they're dead. Okay? But for as long as they're alive, they're always going to be part of your life. Even if you stop dating them, stop having sex with them, being in a relationship with them, they're always going to be part of your life. You get what I mean? It's something that's going to be very hard for you to get rid of, unless the baby dad passed away, or that your kid passed away, or that you have full custody of the kid. But even that, I'm telling you, this is something that's almost impossible to undo. When the kid is out there, the person who got you pregnant is always going to be in the picture. And then you can say goodbye to your peace and hello to chaos, especially if it's someone that you don't like, or that you fell for that person, but you end up hating them or disliking them a lot. This is gonna make your life a living hell. And do you want your life to be a living hell, honey? Do you want your life to be a living hell? Or do you want your kids to have a peaceful life? If you want peace, take your want, okay? Don't get pregnant by someone you dislike, by someone who don't see you as worth of you becoming their wife or committed to you. Okay, I know some of you don't believe in marriage, don't believe in wedding. That's your business. I'm not telling you what to do, but you get my message. It's basically, don't get pregnant by bonds. Don't get pregnant by people who are not worth it, who don't see you as worth it to be committed to you. Okay, period. Like I told you, these are the 3 biggest life decisions that you will ever have to make. Your career, the life partner you choose, and the person you decide to have kids with. And also, I would like to mention, when it comes to kids, you guys have to understand, when you procreate with someone who has a lot of health issues, you dislike, and you didn't even know your kids can have that. Let's say you procreate with someone that you were fully around and you didn't know that person has a history of cancer in his family. well, you're just increase the chance of your kids and your future grandkids to have that. I forgot to mention that, but this is actually so freaking important. This is why for me it's actually mind-blowing to procreate and have babies with different type of people instead of focusing on getting to know the person before. Okay, so please be careful. The goal is to elevate, not downgrade. Okay, so be very, very careful because that will impact you personally, and that's also gonna impact the kid you're gonna have as well, and not just the kid, the future generations to come of your family. And that can get ruined completely just from that mistake of being pregnant with the wrong person. Okay, so be very, very mindful of that. And again, I'm not telling you what to do. These are just suggestions. If you have other life decisions that you find are so important for the ladies to know about, please share them in the comments on YouTube. I'll be glad to read you. And also let me know which out of the 3 life decisions that I share with you is the most important one to you. If there's something that you agreed on that I mentioned is something that you disagree, please don't forget to follow us on social media as well. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. I just want you to elevate your life and just be happy, okay? I just want to see you thrive. So this is why I thought that this was very important for me to share that with you. In no way is for me to judge. Make yourself happy. And that comes from every single decision that you're making. The small decision and the big ones. Hence the reason I wanted to share that with you today, okay? And so that's it for today's episode, and I'll see you on the next one. And remember, you got this. Bye.
Like anything in life, everything comes to an end. Yeah, girl, this concludes today's episode. Again, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you got this. See you on the next one. Bye.